it's one of those houses that's like more than it's like an idea that's also a house. It is 4 stories, 3, and this like basement that's full of wonders. And there's this big living room where sort of a lot of gathering happened. And which I just remember very well. I mean, I lived there for a long time, but also just, it was so her, and that it was like embroidered pillows and her sculptures and lots of her art, and paintings, and her couch, which I like can remember as like a little kid just lying on it. Like it feels it's a very tactile memory. And then there's this kitchen that was like around the corner here, and the dining room, and stairs that I would go down a lot as a little kid on my butt, like down they were carpeted stairs. And then there were bedrooms, which are still called, we still refer to them even now as the bedrooms of the kids who grew up in them, my dad and his siblings. So there's Toby's bedroom and then Chaim's bedroom. And then around the corner, my Bubby and Zadie's big bedroom. And then, which I remember like the jewelry, like the old, 1950s pins and stuff, and like always out, and like her powders and all the things that I would play with when I was little. And then on their top floor is where I spent a lot of time when I lived there when I was like at different points, and that's the attic attic, which is also has a bathroom. And there's art everywhere, and there is stuff everywhere. There's pottery and old, like so the backyard is actually a major feature because that was where our sukkahs always happened when I was a kid, or sikkahs, I should say. And then there was a little cottage that was like a 1920s painter's house that was solid glass. That was like, I mean, not solid, but had these big windows. But she spent a lot of time in the backyard, just sitting there and also drawing and just sort of being there and gardening. Even though mostly that just consisted of like sticking chopsticks in pots that she would overwater. But she did like love nature and love being in the garden. And there was this huge tree in the middle of the backyard that they remember when they planted. There was a tree house there for a while. And when my dad was a kid, not when I was around. And they knew the neighbors, and they were, there was like famous neighbors and famous stories about this one time. But yeah, it was like it was a house very full of the people who lived in it, to the brim.